Down and around the corner.
We're up on San Jacinto.
Oh yeah, we are, aren't we?
Probably about 8,500 feet.
It's a little chilly.
A little chilly, not too bad. We're above the clouds out there. Might be able to see them. Fixing for a pretty nice sunset.
It's day 15. I think we're at about mile 186 or something. We got out of Idlewild yesterday afternoon. Got a ride back out to the trailhead by the same trail angel that we got a ride in from a guy named David, older retired guy. Super, super nice. He was giving everybody rides. So we made it about 6 miles and found a little spot we could cowboy camp outside of our tent, which is sometimes easier if the space is smaller. And yeah, it's pretty cold. We're up at about 9,000 feet. We're starting to run into this little snow patches or longer ones. So this morning, it's about 6:30. We'll hit Fuller's Ridge, which is kind of a tricky snow crossing section. I don't think it's actually that dangerous. It's just kind of a drop off. So it kind of freaks people out. But we're gonna do it nice and early. We'll hit it in a mile or so. So it should be crusty. We've got our micro spikes. Thanks, Sarah. We've already used them once this morning. We'll definitely use those. Yeah. And it is beautiful. We're so high up that we're above the cloud cover. And I think that that's Mount Baden-Powell way off to the northwest. Maybe. We are getting ready to descend off of San Jacinto. We're gonna go about, or drop about 6,000 feet of elevation in how many miles, Stu? Like 15? It's supposed to be pretty cool because you drop all the way from, we're at what, like 7,000 feet, somewhere around there, and we'll go all the way down to the desert floor, through all the ecosystems. It's gonna be awesome. We did it!
Mile 200!
Sarah Snake. It's about 6 a.m. on May 2nd, I think. We are walking away from San Jacinto, and the sun is rising over the hills. We camped down here tonight. There's a drinking fountain, which is pretty random, but it's only water for a little while. So we camped down here after a descent. We got in about 6, I think, 5:36. So it took us a little while. 15 miles, 6,000 feet. It was pretty brutal. It's just all downhill, so it was hard on the knees. And towards the end of it, probably the last mile, it just felt like it was never gonna end. It was a long descent, a lot of switchbacks. Yeah, so this morning we are heading towards the desert floor, and we're gonna cross an area that's pretty hot usually, which is why we're moving so early. When Stu did this section in 2006, he got heat stroke. So we are gonna try to get through most of it this morning before noon, and then we'll probably take a long afternoon break. And then we will climb up into some new mountains. I'm not sure what we're climbing into yet. I'll have to look it up. It's beautiful out. Stu and some friends are walking ahead. We're gonna stop for breakfast soon. Doesn't say which way Canada is. We're entering the San Gorgonio Wilderness. It's very pretty. It's about 10 o'clock on May 4th. I think it's a Saturday. Just wanted to talk about the last couple days. They've kind of been, I don't know, hard, but fun. Yesterday was probably the hardest day that I've had out here, and I think maybe Stu as well. Hardest physically. We were both just like crazy tired all day. Probably from hiking 20 miles 2 days in a row. Oh, and that evening we camped. We came down from the elevation drop, and there's a water fountain, which is weird in the middle of the desert. And Stu and I got our our little bivvy spot set up, and we were making dinner, and I was stirring the last of my dinner when both of us smelled an unpleasant odor, which turned out to be the heel of my camp shoe in somebody's shallowly buried poop, which was pretty horrible. So that was kind of crazy and ended up being fine. It was like, it could have been worse. It was on my crock and I was able to get it off, and anyway, not pleasant. So we came through Mesa Wind Farm, and the people who work there were super, super nice. We had heard from Gut Hooks, the app we're using, that they are really friendly to hikers, and they usually have water and they'll let you use their bathroom. And we had heard rumor of snacks. So we went there, and it turned out that they basically have turned their break room into a little store. They had Klondike bars, which was amazing, coffee in a Keurig, and they had like breakfast sandwiches that were frozen, and Snickers and chips and all sorts of stuff. So we went in there and had a little hangout. Oh, there's a gopher. Actually, I don't know what that is. So coming out of Mesa Wind Farm, we did a fair amount of climbing and dropped down into Whitewater River Canyon, I guess it would be, and had a pretty hot stretch. Wow, would you look at that? We only have 2,444.9 miles to go. Sweet. That was probably the second time on this trip that I've questioned whether or not I was getting heat stroke. We had plenty of water. It was all hot, which makes it hard to drink. Anyway, we ended up getting to the river, and we had been hiking with a bunch of friends all day. All of us just stripped down to our underwear and got in the water and cooled off, and it was great. Happy stew, happy dish. Yay! So that night again, I didn't sleep very well. And yesterday, Stu and I just felt like crap. Both of us. We were just super tired. Woo! And I think we've just been going pretty strong these last 18 days, 19 days, you know, coming up on 20 days of this. So I think we're just in need of a rest. Yeah, we'll go into Big Bear tomorrow, and luckily it's Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday, and we have a package there that we won't be able to get until 9 a.m. Monday, so that'll force us to chill out. Today is much cooler. We have really lucked out with weather consistently over the past 20 days. We're pretty high up. I think we're still at like 7,000, 6,000 feet right now, but it's supposed to stay fairly cool, but it's also sunny, which is nice. Yeah, and we'll get into Big Bear and enjoy our well-earned rest. It's a town day. We are heading into Big Bear today. Big Bear Lake, not to be confused with Big Bear City. Last night we camped in a really nice spot, sort of on a hill. It's probably about 20 of us, and we knew everyone. It was all friends, so that was fun. We had a little hiker party, ate dinner with Danny and Vota and one of the Monicas and another woman, I don't know her name, hiking in my sleeping clothes because it's town day. This morning we completely ran out of fuel. Was able to get a mostly hot cup of coffee, but no breakfast, so I have the remains of my snacks stuffed in my fanny pack here. So breakfast is a handful of nuts, dried apricots, and a chocolate bar.
Anywhere in the village is really good. The oak side it's classy, but it's also fairly.
Yeah, man. I was even saying, like, a couple hundred.
Back on trail. Just got back from Big Bear Lake. Got an awesome hitch from a guy who worked for the Forest Service. It's May 6th, about 2 p.m., something like that. And we are happy to be back on trail.
Back on the trail!
We might get rained on.
We might get snowed on.
But right now it's sunny, so it's fine. We passed our first camp option and this started up shortly after, but we're doing okay. It's kind of pretty. Stu's got his rain skirt on for the first time. Got a little bit farther to go till we hit the next watering camp, and then we'll set up the tent and get warm. Yeah.
If we're only doing 20. 2,350 miles to go. Because we've done 300!
Yeah! We're traversing above Deep Creek. It's way down there. Teal? Going over Deep Creek. It's May 8th and about 6 p.m. I think. Today is now officially our biggest mile day. We spent pretty much the whole day hiking through Deep Creek Canyon, which was really beautiful in spots and extremely monotonous in others. And sort of strange. There's the Mojave River Dam is there. I think a lot of kids get in, and there was a lot of graffiti. Anyway, so we were hoping once we did the wet crossing at my Mojave River Dam that we'd find camping on the other side. First wet crossing. We're at Mojave River Dam. It wasn't very deep. We did not. So we continued about 2 miles to the next water source we were hoping there might be camping at. There was not. So we had dinner there, which was Parmesan garlic mashed potatoes with fresh spinach and bell pepper and bacon crumbles, which was delicious. And now we're just hiking until we find some flat place to sleep. So right now we're at 22 miles.
Yeah, probably about 22.
About 22 today. I think we've only done 20 before. Oh, is that a spot? No.
Kind of.
Feeling pretty good for that. Right before dinner, kind of bonked. Just ran out of energy and was pretty exhausted, but doing all right now. Feet are a little tired. Muscles feel strong. Hopefully we will find a spot before too long. Break time in this kind of strange place. What dam is that again?
Silverwood Lake.
Silverwood Lake Dam. Got some big pipes.
Yeah. So apparently this got it. It was like a coordinate that.
Last stretch. That's awesome.
Did you take a photo of my phone? I don't have any photos. I think Saba took a photo.
Oh yeah. Whoa, that's amazing. Well, we got out of the trail magic vortex.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard. We were there for about 2 hours.
4 hours.
Some of the better trail magic we've had. Guy's name was Fish Tank. He hiked the PCT last year. Is finishing it this year. So, what did you eat, Stu?
I ate 1 cheeseburger, 2 hot dogs, 3 bags of chips, and 2 sodas, and some little bites of other things.
I had a hot dog, a hamburger, a half a muffin, a handful of fruit, 2 bags of chips, and a soda, a squirt.
Good.
Thought of you, Mom. I can't remember the last time I had a squirt. And now we are on trail.
There
Good.
it is.
Huh, this is weird. Okay. It's May 10th. Happy birthday, Mom Sours. This morning we had a little sleep in. It's not particularly nice out. There are a few sprinkles on the tent, and because it's not going to be really hot, we didn't really have any urgency to get up. But today is a big day. We, in about 5-6 miles, are going to go over Cajon Pass, which is an iconic PCT highway junction because there is a McDonald's there. It's really busy here. There's also a Subway and a Del Taco, apparently. There's been a lot of excitement over this the last couple days. Everyone setting themselves up to get there at the optimum time of day for eating. At about this point in the trip, everyone has pretty much become fully obsessed with food. I think all of our metabolisms are getting a little higher, definitely eating more, and anyone who's backpacked at all knows everything tastes better out here. So, we don't usually eat McDonald's. I don't know what we'll get. I'm thinking a McFlurry, probably an apple pie. Stu's got his eyes set on some French fries, but we kind of have plenty of food. We're probably gonna roll into Wrightwood tomorrow, so there's no particular necessity for getting a bunch of food there. Yeah, but it'll be a nice break. It's always nice to have a porcelain toilet and wash basin at your disposal, especially towards the end of a resupplied chunk of time. Get really dirty right before going into town. Yeah, so it's gonna be an exciting day. McDonald's. We went there, we ate a McChicken, a McDouble, a French fry, and a McFlurry Oreo, and it was delicious. Have to say, I think it's been 14 years since I've eaten at McDonald's, and it is a lot fancier than I remember. There was even a woman who came up to our table, well, the table behind us, and filled their drinks. Table service at McDonald's. Yeah, it was great. I have a pie in my pack. I will eat that later. Feels unsafe.
Wrong morning, take a ride. Just lift it right off the phone. I know.
May 11th. It's about 9 a.m. Yesterday we got so lucky. It was supposed to be rainy, but it held out until, I don't know, maybe 3 p.m. We got out of Cajon Pass and climbed through, and it was really pretty. Started our 6,000 foot climb into Wrightwood. We made it, I think, 18 miles yesterday. So I don't remember how many out of, it's like 14 out of Cajon Pass until we were both just cooked, ready to lay down. Luckily we found a spot to camp and it didn't get too wet. Stopped raining long enough to get up the tent. It was great. We shared our spot with a few friends, Rhyme Time, Yak and Scunch. Woke up this morning to rain. Luckily we had Wi-Fi, or not Wi-Fi, we had reception, so Stu looked up the radar and saw that it was going to pass, so we just hung out for a little bit until it stopped for a while. And so far today we've been pretty lucky. We're kind of in the clouds a little bit, and we got a little bit of rain earlier, enough for me to put on my coat and my trash bag rain skirt because I don't have my rain pants yet. We are somewhere between 7 and 8 miles from Wrightwood. It's been a little tough going this morning, finishing this 6,000 foot climb, and we're at about 6,000 feet. Excited for Wrightwood. I think we're gonna take our first real zero, meaning an entire day where we don't hike. Thus far we've hiked into towns, stayed the night, gotten up and hiked out at some point in the day. So still spending 24 hours relaxing, but it's not quite the same. Spending a full day not hiking. I think it's gonna be good. Excited for Mile High Pizza.
Ride or die, baby. We're officially out of San Bernardino County,
That's exciting.
and now we're in LA County.
All right.
It's feeling very LA right now.
You look really LA. Nora would be proud.
I think that takes developing a